Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are you today? Thank you very much for joining JayNotion. What I'm going to be doing here is talking about Predator Hunting Grounds. So this is the demo. What I'm going to do is just give you my thoughts and feelings on the game as per the demo version, give you a little preview, and talk about the pros and cons. That was my very bad Predator impression. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here all week. Hope you guys are doing very well. It was great today, on a side note, to be able to go to the shop and pick up loaves of bread. Pasta was there. Beans was there. It's good times, people. I think the initial shock of, bulk buying everything and just being scared of not having anything free has now passed, because I hope it's the same for you, but I'm now starting to see a lot of differences in the shops in terms of what you can buy, so that is good. So, onto the game, Predator Hunting Grounds. This is my honest preview of the demo. Obviously, this is not the final version of the game, and there will likely be upgrades, details that may or may not change prior to the release date. So let's dive into it. We're going to start off with the tutorial. There's only a few modes available at the moment as it is the demo, but I'm going to be exploring all of them just to give you a fair view of what's what. I'm going to do the tutorial and then I'll do a matchmaking game just so you can see what it's about. I have already played this. I did this earlier. I did also record some footage for it, but unfortunately it didn't save. But it's fine. Brilliant entrance, we love it. So straight away, look at this. So the graphics for the Predator model is fantastic. The environments as well are incredibly well done. As you will soon discover, the sound effects are spot on. You can tell the developers have made a lot of effort into marrying up the movies with the game. So that is good. So I'm just going to show you this section now, which is a tutorial. Just shows you all the buttons. Have you guys played this yet? Are you going to purchase the game? What are your thoughts? Let me know. I think we've all been waiting ages for a Predator style game. I think the last one was Colonial Marines or something like that. So this is the sexy bit. Yeah. So that's the heat signature, but also check that out. Look at that. How good that is. Sorry, dude. Check out how far this guy can leap. Hell to the air. This is a really cool bit as well. It's called Predcore. I don't know if that's canon or not, but oh yeah, you're witnessing this, people. You're witnessing it. We're just jumping through the trees like an orangutan on crack. Push you through the weapons.
Fuck! We have a requisition static. Approved websites and
so what I just showed you there was an example of one of the weapons.
Spread out.
Playing as the Predator is insanely fun, as you would expect it to be. The Predator moves incredibly fast. As you can tell, that guy stood no chance. The powers are really cool. So the developers have spent a lot of time on the I think the transition in the controls is really smooth to play as the Predator. You feel massively overpowered, as you damn well should. It's the Predator for crying out loud. So this is just the tutorial section of the demo. Just gives you a feel for the game, what the controls are, and how the Predator works. What's really strange is on the bottom left you can see the different power icons for the different powers that the Predator has. Whilst it says up on the D-pad, it does nothing, but when you press down on the D-pad, you have that. So yeah, despite the controls being a little bit wrong, we can forgive it. It is a demo, they'll probably patch it by the time that the comes around. Fine. That guy is well confused. Kill them all. So, playing as the Predator, as you would expect, is really satisfying when you get all these kills in. The gameplay is relatively quick. They've mapped the controls out really well, to be fair. It's not hard to get to grips with, where are you going? Get to grips with the controls. Everything is really smooth. Look at this. Your spine is mine, bitch. So there you go, guys. That's the tutorial. Done. See you later. No, I'm joking. So that's the tutorial. It's relatively quick. I flew through that only because I've already done it. But I just wanted to show you what the tutorial is all about. As I said, the controls as the Predator are relatively easy to pick up. There's nothing crazy about it. I will talk about customization after, but I just want to also now show you the matchmaking. We're going to go with Fire Team because I've already shown you the Predator. We're going to play as the Fire Team now, which is the soldiers. So, from what I understand, there is no campaign for this game, which I'm a bit disappointed with, to be honest. I know it's been pitched as a survivor multiplayer game. It seems to be following the trend that a lot of other survival games are doing at the moment, such as Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight, and also the upcoming Resident Evil 3, which also has a add-on to the game called Resistance, which is a similar premise to this, where you've got 4 characters trying to escape, do objectives, and then you've got one main villain who in the Resident Evil universe is known as the Mastermind. He's going to be putting zombies, Nemesis, Tyrant, Birkin, all those dogs, all that stuff in your way to stop you escaping. And this is following a similar premise. So one player is the Predator. Goal of that player is to wipe out all the soldiers, and the goal of the soldiers is to get from A to B. You go to different points doing different objectives, like destroying an item or almost defending something like a capture the flag sort of objective. And then if you come across the Predator, it's about killing the Predator, guarding the body until the body is extracted. So I don't know if that's the same objective for each map. As I said, I only played one map earlier, but I'm just going to show you now what the matchmaking looks like. A lot of people have said there's long wait times. As you can see, there's a warning message there at the bottom of the screen that people were taking ages to connect to a game. It's probably because everyone is trialing it, but I did notice this earlier when it was even less busy. It did take a good 5 to 10 minutes for me to connect to a matchmaking game. Now, it could well be that the developer irons out the server issues before launch, but I'm a little bit skeptical about how little time they've got before the game's actually released, and realistically, are they going to iron that out enough for the amount of people that they're looking to buy it? And I don't know. It smells like it's going to have issues from launch. I hope it doesn't. I'm a massive Predator fan. I hope the game does really well. I'm not slating it or anything, but yeah, there's a couple of things about it that I'm not completely sold on. I'll talk about those at the end of the video, but I was hoping for, I wasn't expecting a massive campaign, even if it was just a 5 or 10 hour campaign. Maybe one side for the Predator, one side for the fire team, the soldiers. I don't know. It doesn't have to be deep. It could just be Predator comes down, looks to take over everything. Fire team are on a scout mission, comes across the Predator, blah blah blah. It's very basic, very easy, but that would give something more to the game, and I think it would give it a bit more life. The danger is with these types of games, when you're doing a survivalist game, you really have to think about the features, because if you put the game in as very limited features and all it is the survivalist element where you've got the different maps, it can become boring very quickly. I know that from experience. The best survivalist game I've played, I would have to say, is Dead by Daylight, only because the creators and developers are still adding content to it now. Quite often it's free, but yeah, they sort of flesh the game out quite regularly. There's loads of updates, there's loads of additional stuff you can buy, chapters, characters, all that kind of stuff, so it adds to the life of the game a little bit. Whilst I don't completely agree that you shouldn't have to buy additional content to make the game better, the base game in itself is really, really good. So I hope they've got something in the bag for this game, because I want it to do really well. As I said, I am a massive Predator fan, but it is being sold as a multiplayer game. It's not being sold as a single player with a multiplayer element. It looks like it's pure maps, A to B objectives, all that kind of stuff, which is risky, because even, it is great fun playing as the Predator. It's really smooth, you feel really overpowered, as you should. Everything feels, you feel like you're the Predator, if that makes sense. You've got all the gadgets, all the weapons, you've got the camouflage, the heat signals. I'll talk a little bit more about the customization after, because you can choose a male or a female Predator. You can alter your masks, war paint, face paint, you can change the hair, what the armor looks like, all that kind of stuff. So there is a slight RPG element to the game, but like most multiplayer games that are pitched as survivalist games, you have to play the matches in matchmaking to earn experience, and that experience unlocks further cosmetic items. I was a little bit worried as well about this here, field lockers. These are basically loot boxes. I was really worried about this. I thought, oh my god, they're going down the EA route of pay to win, similar to when Battlefront 2 first came out. So my bum was going squeaky bum time, chocolate orange chewing my pants for a little bit, but when you actually go into it, I can show you now actually, because the game's still loading. It says here purchase locker, but as you go through the levels and play matches, you get these field lockers, and basically when you open them, they are like loot crates. As you know, loot crates in any other game, you unlock cosmetic items, hats, war paint for the Predator. You can unlock stuff for the soldiers and the Predator. It's random, It's completely random. Doesn't mean that if you play as the Predator you get the Predator's cosmetics. It doesn't work that way. It's completely random. You'll notice this one says purchase locker. Don't worry, this is not physical money. If you look at the top right of the screen under where my sign on is, Supersonic 48, you'll see that I've got 2,591 of some sort of currency. That is earned through in-game stuff, so completing matches, shooting people, completing objectives, depending on, you know, whether you're the Predator or the soldiers, the objectives will be slightly different. So the more good stuff you do as that character, the more currency you'll unlock, basically. So you can purchase more field lockers with that currency, so I'm going to do that now and just show you what I mean. So this looks very loot boxy, but it's not. But it is, but it's not in the sense that you have to pay for it. So there you go. I've unlocked a new skin for a rifle, new skin for the pistol, and a new character skin as well. I'm going to unlock one more just because we're still waiting. So a lot of the stuff that's popping up now is duplicates, but that's good because what it does with the duplicates is it gets rid of the skins and it gives you 75 points back. So at least you get something back if you get a duplicate of an item, which I get quite a lot of. See? So only 1 out of the 3 again is a fresh new skin. Super one more. But I was really pleased to see it's not pay to win, thank God. Hopefully they don't incorporate that into the game either, because I think that will cheese a lot of people off, including me. So as we're still matchmaking, it's a bit worrying now because we're 8 minutes in. Have a look at the customization, and here you've got an option between the Predator or the Fire Team. Quick look at the Predator, so you can have custom loadouts, but interestingly these custom loadout slots unlock as you level up. So I'm just going to look at level 1. You've got your primary and secondary weapons. This is the element that I really liked. I didn't expect this, to be honest with you, but it was a nice little touch. So as you play through the levels, as you level up, you're an experience, blah blah blah, you unlock different weapons, and these are, there we go, we're in there. So those are weapons sort of mapped to that character. So for example, the Predator will have different mines, different laser guns, all that kind of stuff, and the soldiers will have things like your pistol, your shotgun, your rifle, grenades, stim packs, all that kind of stuff. You also have perks, so you can unlock perks as you go through the different levels. Things like if you're the Predator, you can have elevated senses, so even if someone's covered in camouflage you can still see their footprints through the heat signature. If you're a soldier, an example of a perk that a soldier might have is
We've been taking out drug ops across the region.
We're
always taking up
okay. So a soldier might have something along the lines of an additional stim pack or something like that.
Take out their operations wherever we find them.
So yes, this is going to be just a quick playthrough, an example of
I didn't go to rough there.
Good hunting.
I find it really weird that people always have like kids screaming in the background whenever they play their games. That bitch, put that down, bitch. What I tell you, bitch. Stuff like that makes me laugh. Sit your ass down, I'm gonna try to kill some motherfucker. Okay, so as you can see here, we're playing now as one of the soldiers. The really good thing about this mode is that the Predator is in it, so you don't know where the Predator is, but he or she is around. We're engaging enemy soldiers as well at the moment, as well as trying to reach our objective. So we've got our objective to think about, enemy soldiers, and also the Predator is running around in the trees somewhere. So there's lots to be thinking about. I'll talk about the soldier mode in a second. The predator mode is obviously my favourite. But something that really annoys me, which you've probably just noticed, is that when I sprint and I go to turn the camera, sometimes it weirdly inverts it to the left. And I'm not touching the stick. There's nothing wrong with my controller.
This
See?
is OWLF. You have encountered a
just-
classified anomaly that must be taken into our custody. Hold your position and protect the body at all costs. We will see that you are amply rewarded for your...
They've captured a specimen and are preparing it for extraction.
Have we downed the
Destroy
predator already?
evidence. Be careful,
So
fire
it looks
team.
like someone's
Drift
shot the
apart.
predator down already.
Over here!
Are you one of ours?
Not this time!
Almost there, Blue. Hold
Nope.
tight.
Hey, you shooting him? Not very nice, is it?
Need to reload!
So, as you can probably tell from the gameplay, this is nowhere near as smooth as your Call of Duties, all that kind of stuff.
Seeing the team split up, I would advise against this fire team.
Cover me!
And this is really annoying me when it turns inwards like that.
If it weren't for the copious amounts of green blood, we'd have serious suspicions about the validity of this mutilated corpse. However, your
that's
bonus
it.
remains and is being wired to you now.
So I'll probably do another matchmake
Too far apart.
game because that was over really quickly. So the aim of the game as the soldiers is you're supposed to go through and do A to B, A to C, A blah 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 blah, point to point basically with your objectives, and also wipe out the predator and then wait for the body to be extracted. And you get more experience if the body is less damaged. It's a bit of a weird concept, but basically you've got to think of the predator as an alien because it is. Woohoo! Can you imagine an Alien versus Predator game? Just going off topic right now. Like a modern day one. How cool would that be? Anyway, yeah, so the premise of that match is to, as a soldier, to get from A to B. You go to an objective. Normally it's destroy whatever item it is, recover whatever item it is, or defend a position. Then you move on to the next objective. In between that you get waves of enemies, AI controlled enemies coming at you. You've got them to take out. You fulfill your objective, but in amongst all that there's one player that plays as the predator, and their goal is to stop you by any means necessary. The highlight is obviously the predator. The game is built around it, it's built around the character, it's built around the atmosphere of being the predator, and don't get me wrong, it's absolutely fantastic, but I do feel that that is the sole draw of the game. I'll talk about that in a second, but I just feel a little bit on the fence about it at the moment for a few reasons. As I said, I do want the game to do well, and they may well patch a lot of things out before launch, but being realistic, they're not that far away from launch date, and I don't know how much they are going to be able to pull out of the bag this close to launch. I mean, it's not going to be retailed at full price, which is one thing.
For what we now believe is a high-yield chemical bomb. If Technical has this right, the bomb would kill everything in its blast
But
radius while poisoning the soil so that nothing would ever grow
nevertheless,
again.
you know, a £30 game, you're going to expect, you want it to last at least a week, and I hate to say it, but I can't really see this game, for me, keeping me excited past a week. I think I'd get bored of this in a few days. The opening scenes are the same. I know this is just one map, but even with the customization,
Fire team, drop! Go, go, go!
maybe it's just me, but I get bored of these sorts of experiences quite quickly. Okay, here we are. No annoying mics and stuff in the background there, so that's good.
For the bomb, we're headed to the train yard. So
Wait for me, guys.
Move out.
So here we go. See, it's doing it again. It's another weird bug.
The bomb should be here somewhere.
So, what's up there? He's shooting stuff.
It's everything we feared. Voodoo want plant signal jammers ASAP. They can still detonate it remotely. Good work. Now get a sample of the chemical agent for analysis. And, be careful. They should have equipment on site for analysis.
Okay, so as you can see, it's all objective based. All the while, the Predator is running around here somewhere. So, I think the draw of the soldier mode, despite you being a soldier, is knowing that somewhere in the trees out there is the Predator. Which is an interesting concept. What the fuck's going on over there? Anyway. We should probably stick together. Which is not what I'm doing.
There, use that analyzer.
That's fine. Get the hell in there. Get the hell in there. Okay. Okay, alright, sorry.
I think they tried to detonate the bomb, so you've got incoming fire.
And whenever you see these weird, like, glowing items, always pick them up because they're just XP. Extra XP is good. So we've got to defend this. Whoa, hello. You on our side or what? Shit me up there. Don't do that. It's another bugbear of mine. The AI seems absolutely stupid.
I got you now.
See? Not one of those bullets hit me. Everything is very sort of laggy. And like I said, I don't want to put the game down. They may well iron some of this out before launch, but let's be realistic, guys. I don't think they're gonna make miracles this close to release date. I know it's not designed to be a AAA game, but I feel it could be a lot more.
Technical suspicion. Fortunately, they've got a grocery list for making a neutralizing agent. Look for a
That sounds like the Predator. Where is he? I can hear the fucker.
Eyes open.
I think he's on the roof. Oh shit! Yeah, you're on your own. Out of here. I'm out of here. Shit the bed. See what I mean? So this is the fun bit of the game, where you don't know where the Predator is. See, there he goes. Just a little hot pass. There he goes.
Send the list now. Everything we need should be in there.
Don't hurt me.
Get back to the bomb. Let's put this thing to bed.
Everyone's always dubious about going first. I don't mind going first, because I can run like the wind, bullseye. We're going to get turned into a kebab skewer. So as I said, the actual gameplay is quite fun. But as you can see here, the graphics are a little bit choppy. The field of view panning is not very good. I'm gonna say it. It all seems a little bit PS2, PS3 era. Do you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky, but I just expected more. When you think of a Predator game, there's just so much more you could do with it. Let's get inside. Hopefully the fucker is not following us. Turning it again. It's so
Slowly
annoying.
pour the stabilizer into the barrels. Should only take a few seconds to work its magic.
Okay, so we've got to defend this.
They're over here! Over here!
Ammo!
Bitch! There they are!
Oh, bitch.
Reinforcements are on the way!
Oh no. That zapping noise is the Predator's cloak ability. Fucker is in here somewhere. Where is he? To be fair, it's not all bad that the
Now defuse the bombs attached to the barrel.
previous footage didn't save, because this is more exciting.
Watch yourself, Voodoo. You aren't the only one alive today.
So then guys, I'll do this. You got twatted, good son. Can't hear the Predator at the moment.
Perfect. Nice work, fire team. Bomb is neutralized and you are green for extraction.
Let's get out of here. Get to the chopper. Yeah, thanks guys. I'll do all the work and you just fucking leg it. Get the hell out of here.
Orders received. En route to extraction.
Shit.
Trying to escape! Stop now!
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. We've got to stand our ground here.
Send it in back up!
How do I throw a grenade? That's a stim back. Oh shit, there he is. Shoot the bitch. Where you go? There he is. There he is. Come on, pick us up. Where is the Predator?
Easy and hot. Make it quick.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. No, I'm not. Come on. Yes. Boom. We escaped that fucker. Yeah, we got away.
To be honest, I didn't think I'd get a full team back. Good work, Voodoo.
So yeah, that's an example of playing as a soldier, a member of the fire team, and we escaped the Predator. So as I said, you know, it's not a boring game by any means. It is really, you know, it can be really good fun. The highlight again is the Predator. Even as you're playing as the soldier, the atmosphere and knowing that that fucking thing is around somewhere is what adds to the suspense. It adds to the excitement. So that is an overview of the demo, guys. I showed you a matchmake, a quick game on the fire team when I showed you the tutorial. Just showed you a little bit about what the Predator is and how it moves and how it controls. Okay, so moving into my final thoughts. where to begin? I just want to say I am a Predator fan. I really enjoy the films. I absolutely want this game to succeed, and I'm gonna be honest, just by the impressions of the demo, and I know it can change, I'm not that pleased. I'm not that pulled in. I'm not that invested in the game, and there's loads of reasons why. So starting from the top, yes, the game is Predator hunting grounds, is built around the Predator, I get that. However, I do also feel that there should be equal attention to the other modes in the game, or the other characters in the game, just to flesh it out and make it feel like you have other avenues when you get bored of playing as the Predator. Just based on the demo, I don't think the developers have done that. I think they've spent a hell of a lot of time investing the character models, the sounds, the feel, the control mapping purely on the Predator, which, I have to take my hat off to them. They've done a cracking job with that. If you want a game where you want to feel as the Predator, you want to feel like you are this hunting, killing machine, this has done it to a T. If it was done on that alone, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. But I'm weighing up both sides here. So playing as the soldiers, this is where the game really drops for me, in my opinion. It feels very slow, it feels very clunky, and I don't know if this is true, but it feels like the character models when you're playing as the soldiers are half done. They feel very blocky, the movements is nowhere near as smooth as when you're playing as the Predator. As you saw when I was playing as the soldiers there as well, when I tend to sprint or I turn, the camera just gets locked into a left invert and it just spins around in circles, which is really weird in itself. It might just be a bug and they might iron it out, but I have to call it on what I've got in front of me. I don't think this is a complete product, and if the game comes out near as damn it as this, I think they're going to be in trouble. I think they're going to get ripped apart. I think it's going to get bad results, and I don't want it to. I want it to be really good. I want it to do well. I want it to sell, but yeah, I just can't see it happening. I'm really on the fence about it. I'm really not. This is what I know for sure. I'm not going to buy this day one. I'm not going to pre-order it. I may pick it up later on, but again, I'm just going to wait and see what the final product's like. There have been games in the past where the demo or the preview version of the game is nowhere near what the final product's like, and when the final product comes out, it blows it out of the water. All the things have been addressed, and hats off, pat on the back, well done. But I just feel that there's so many things that need ironing out based on the demo that I've played, that I've got really low hopes for the game, and that sounds pessimistic, and I don't want to sound like an ass. I want the game to do well, I really do, but I just can't help but feel that I have to make an honest opinion on what's in front of me, and I don't think it's going to land. I don't think people will be playing it past week one. Those of you that like repetition, those of you that like a game that's fairly easy to pick up, that you can enjoy with your friends, you may get more out of it, slightly more out of it, an extra week maybe, I don't know. But all I'm thinking of, there's loads of AAA games coming out soon. Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy 7, Cyberpunk, The Last of Us 2, and this game is not going to float amongst those games. That's all I'm thinking. This is probably going to be a tie-in game. Just bear in mind, Resident Evil 3 does come out next week, so will people be playing it when Resident Evil 3 comes out? I don't know. Will they be playing it when Final Fantasy comes out? Unlikely. Last of Us, definitely not. Do you see what I mean? So it's... And whilst I have to give the developers their props, you can tell they really have invested their time and research into the Predator character. The customization options are really good. That's a really nice touch. So being able to change your Predator face masks, the hair, the body armor, the war paint, you can choose a male or a female Predator. Again, I feel like there's more customization for the Predator than there is the soldiers. With the soldiers, you can't change their features, you can't change their head, you can't change their face. You can just change what they're wearing, the colour of what they're wearing, their guns. You can add some perks, you can add colours, different colours to stuff, but it feels a lot more restricted than what the Predator has. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I feel like they spent 90% of their time working on the Predator because they think, yeah, it's a Predator game, we need to work on the Predator, which is right. But when you've got such a big contrast of playing the Predator and then you go to the soldiers, it's really black and white. The differences are massive, and it stands out like a sore thumb to me. Really sorry about that, guys. Don't get me wrong, when you're playing as the Predator, it's great. When you're playing as a soldier, the suspense and the anticipation of when is the Predator going to jump out, when am I going to get my ass turned into a lamb kebab, is great. It adds to the suspense, and I think you'll get more out of the game if you're playing with friends than if you're just doing a public match like I did. But realistically, I was really on the fence about this, but I sat there earlier and I said to myself, if I was playing this for a week, would I still be playing it for a week after? So, and my honest answer was no. I think I would get a good few days out of this. I don't know what more the game can offer me, to be honest with you. And then, you know, I'm not talking like a critic, and I'm not talking like someone that's constantly putting things down and picking stuff apart, but I'm just being honest. This is my opinion, this is my review on what I feel about the demo, and I honestly don't feel the game's going to be much different. Like I said, if they fleshed it out with a bit of a campaign, I'm not expecting something, you know, 15-20 hours long. Great if they did, but an 8 or 10 hour campaign, 5 hours, you know, I'll take anything at this point. I just don't feel that there's enough in the basics for it to last. And if you're going to go with a game that's purely about survivalist maps and multiplayer, you have to get your shit in order, you have to get your graphics spot on, you have to get your gameplay spot on. Yes, there's going to be bugs, but I feel like this is a really, really rushed product. I think it's one of those things where I can imagine them being sat in the office now, and you know, the guy says to him, right, you've got a month to bring all this out and do this is your deadline. And you go, yep, no worries. 3 weeks and a half they're in, still designing the Predator, and they get it perfect. Everything's smooth, the controls are there, sound effects are in, the character model's bang on, it moves fluidly, everything, how you play as the Predator is absolutely on the money. And then they've gone, oh shit, we've got a week to flesh out the rest of the game. What we're going to do, oh, let's just put you know, blank soldier A, blank soldier B, give them a couple of guns, chuck a few paint jobs in there, and then you're done. That's how it feels. It feels like it's a tale of two halves. When you're playing as the Predator, it's absolutely fantastic. It's exactly what I would hope and wish a Predator game would bring to me, following the films. But the whole game isn't about the Predator. You've got other aspects to the game. You play the soldiers, you've got that element as well, and I just feel like it's one or the other. Like when I'm playing as the Predator, it's great, I enjoy it, it's good fun hunting people down, it's great using the skills and all the weapons that the Predator has at its disposal. But when you're playing as the soldiers, it feels like you're just a cut and paste. It doesn't feel like you're anything special, it just feels like you're amongst, and it plays that way as well. That's the problem. I think because the Predator is so overpowered, when you're playing as the soldiers, you do feel, maybe that's part of the plan, you do feel like you're not on the same level, but the actual gameplay feels like that as well. The controls are really, really rugged. It's not smooth at all. It's not like your Call of Duty or your Battlefield, where everything moves fairly fluidly and the movements tie in as it is with the Predator, but it doesn't feel like that when you play as the soldiers. There's lots of bugs, there's lots of glitches with the soldier elements. The character models themselves, in terms of the soldiers, are very, very clunky. They're very, very basic. And like I said, if this is the final product and we're just going to get a few bugs ironed out, I'm not really satisfied with it. If I was to give it an honest mark out of 10 based on how it is now, I'd probably give it a 6. Like I said, it's not a bad game, it's not shit, it's not terrible, it's just one of those games where even if it is £30, it's not the, you know, recommended retail price that games normally come out at, you know, your £45 or your £50 games. because it's not pitched as a AAA game. But still, even if you're handing over £25–30, you expect something that's going to last you longer than a week. That's just my opinion. And I just think, even if you're not going to have it, but even if you've got 15–20 maps to play with, and you can have fun exploring those, the cutscenes are the same, the introductions are the same, the outros are the same for each level, the objectives, I'm willing to bet, are pretty much the same. Go here, destroy this, go there, guard that. It's a capture the flag mixed in with a team deathmatch, mixed in with, you know, an escort mission. It's all those kind of things blended into one, and you might do one first on one map and then one on the other map, but they're all the same. It's still the same principle. And I think if you're doing that over and over and over, and you're playing the game for 3 or 4 hours a day, or, you know, you're at least playing it once a day for an hour at least, by the end of that week, I'm willing to bet you'll be bored shitless. And I just don't think it's got the legs to run, basically, which is a shame, because I really do want it to succeed, but I think it's going to get slated on the scores, guys. I really do, and it's a shame, but that's my honest opinion. I think we'll leave it there, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of the demo, if you have played it. Are you going to pick up the game? Are you going to pick up pre-order, or you're just going to wait till it reduces? I'm not going to say I'm never going to get it, but I will definitely wait till it comes down in price. I'm in no rush to get it. Listen, you know, I was really looking forward to it. I was praying and hoping it delivered good things, and it does, but in very small doses. And I just don't think it's got the leg room to go the distance, which is a shame. So there we are. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of the demo. What do you think of Predator Hunting Grounds? What is your opinion on it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I hope it gives you an overview of the demo. I tried to be as fair as possible. As I said, I'm not slating the game. There are elements that I really did enjoy. The Predator is the money, the Predator is the main draw, and the Predator is the shit. You feel great playing as the Predator, but weighing up the other half of the game, the soldiers, the lack of campaign, the lack of, you know, imagination, the lack of other modes that you can go through, it's not what I'm looking for, and it's not what I expected it to be, unfortunately. I just think you'll get bored very quickly. So yeah, just let me know in your comments, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the content and you want to see more videos like this. It will motivate me to do more things like such. And if you want to be notified of when new content goes live, become one of my Quasimodos and ring the damn bell icon. Thanks, guys. Take care, and I will see you soon. Peace.